A pleasant good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Marisol, but my friends call me Josie. Hello, friends. I am very excited to be here this morning, although I must admit it's a bit nerve-wracking since I've never spoken before a huge audience. It's humbling as well as nerve-wracking. Originally, I'm from Puerto Rico, but I grew up in New York where I was a model. I had really nice clothing and shoes and friends to spare. Life seemed great, but I wanted more. My friends and I were all young, superficial, and very snotty, but they remained in that bubble, which was okay for a while, but then I got the itch. You see, at heart, I'm an inner tomboy, so when I met with a recruiting officer for the US Army, that was the way to go. So college and life was placed on a bit of a wait. I enlisted, and after 10 years of serving, I enrolled into the School of Culinary Arts to pursue a career in hospitality as a restaurant lounge owner. This was my dream. I was now working, I had money, a home, and my beautiful son. Things couldn't be any better. And then I have no idea of when or how my life began to unravel. I lost my job, I went through my savings like water, and before realizing it, I couldn't pay my rent. And so we had no choice but to move into a hotel. I was in complete and utter denial, yet I knew I had to do something to change our situation. There were days I went hungry because we had little food, but I made sure that there was always enough for my son. He was 10 at the time, too young to understand everything that was going on, but he handled it very well. We were placed on a waiting list for a shelter, and I would call every day hoping that something would open up soon somewhere. I was down on my last $600 when we arrived at the Lotus House, which is located in Overtown. By then, I had sold everything I owned. My son and I now shared a two-bedroom apartment with another family. I was at the Lotus House. It was at the Lotus House that I found myself. I was introduced to Reiki, which helped me heal from within and remove all negativity from my life. There was poetry classes, cooking classes, and all these positive, holistic activities. My day consisted of my son going off to school while I tried to put my life back together. I realized I took everything for granted and had to be taken down to rock bottom to be able to become a better person. I was lacking compassion. I learned to be more nurturing. Where I was shallow, I learned to appreciate things. I was also at the Lotus House. It was where I found the United Way at Eden's Place, located in Overtown Youth Center. They had an abundance of resources to get you back on your feet. There was the Eden Closet with clothing for job interviews, clothing for my son as well to go to school. I went from $400 shoes to loving $5 flip-flops. There were family outings and holiday events to help the families reconnect. For the kids, there were workshops to help them enhance their reading. And in summer, I enrolled my son in track and field, basketball, as well as indoor activities like swimming. I had to make sure to give him some sense of normalcy. It was here that I also found coaching, workshops, and training to help me get back into the workforce. They want you to succeed and become employed as well as independent. I had an opportunity to get educated, and I was not going to squander that. I had a selection of classes, and my inner tomboy resurfaced, so I went for engineering. I veered towards courses in construction because, as an Army veteran, I'm used to the field, and it's a natural environment for me, and here I am learning to use a forklift. I'm learning about construction, demolition, and plastering. All this can be applied at my current job where I have many possibilities for growth. It's such an exciting time in my life right now, and I call it fabulously hating because I love to learn everything, so the more you know, teach me so that I can grow, which makes me feel so empowered and in control of my life. All the pieces are falling into place. We left the Lotus House February of last year, and although it was bittersweet, my son and I are now living in our own home, and I have met a wonderful man in my life who is now a part of our lives. My son is doing better in school, and he is more grounded at home. So you see, we all think our life is great, but in a flash of or blink of an eye, we can lose everything. This is not a cliche, this is life. I am living proof. We all make mistakes, but it is thanks to your generosity and your belief that people just need a nudge and a second chance. I am able to stand here today and share my story. You have given me and my son a second chance. My journey has had its share of bumps, but I am grateful for the help I received along the way and for all the people I met on this rough road. If it weren't for my struggles, I would have never discovered my strengths. I am indebted to Lotus House and the United Way Eden's Place at Overtown Youth Center for getting me back on my feet and helping me find my way for myself as well as my son. These organizations were able to help me, and because of you, your gifts to United Way changes lives and helps to build a stronger Miami. And for that, my son and I thank you. Thank you.